You think she's not interested. She doesn't flirt hard. She doesn't chase. She keeps it calm, so you assume there's nothing there. But there's one subtle behavior most men completely ignore, and if you catch it, you'll realize she's been thinking about you far more than she ever lets on. You think she doesn't like you. Listen, you think she's not interested. You're reading the signals all wrong. You think that distance means disinterest. You think silence means she's moved on. But what if I told you she's been thinking about you more than you realize? And here's the part that's going to sound crazy. The colder she acts, the more obsessed she might actually be. Stay with me because this gets wild. Most men miss these signs completely. They give up right when she's starting to obsess. They walk away right when her brain is working overtime trying to figure them out. But there's one sign men overlook, one specific sign that reveals everything. And when I tell you what it is, you're going to replay every interaction you've had with her. You're going to see patterns you completely missed. I'm going to show you the hidden signals that reveal she's thinking about you constantly, even when she acts like she doesn't care, even when she seems cold or distant, even when every surface-level sign says she's not interested. And here's what nobody tells you. There's a psychological phenomenon that happens in a woman's brain when she's attracted to someone but trying to hide it. And once you understand this, you'll never misread her signals again. But first, we need to talk about the biggest why women hide their thoughts. The mistake you're probably making right now, the painful confusion, why everything you think you know is backwards. Picture this. She takes hours to text back. When you run into her, she seems casual, almost too casual. She doesn't initiate conversations anymore. And when you're together, she acts like you're just another person in her day. You start questioning everything. Maybe I read this wrong. Maybe she was never interested. Maybe I should just move on. But here's what's actually happening, and this is going to flip everything you thought you knew. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, her brain enters a state psychologists call defensive avoidance. It sounds fake, right? But stay with me. Here's what you need to understand. Women don't show interest the way men do. When a man is interested, he pursues. He makes it obvious. He closes distance. But when a woman is deeply attracted and thinking about you non-stop, she often does the opposite. She creates distance. She tests you. She watches how you respond to her pulling back. Why? Because attraction for women comes with fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of seeming too eager. Fear of losing power in the dynamic. So her brain does something counterintuitive. It tells her to pull back to protect herself. And here's the part that's going to make you rethink every cold response you've gotten. The more she's thinking about you, the more she might act like she's not. Because overthinking equals emotional attachment. Thinking about you scares her. It makes her vulnerable, and her defense mechanism is to create emotional distance while her mind obsesses over you privately. But here's where it gets interesting. There are 7 unmistakable signs that expose this. And sign number 4, when you see it, there's zero doubt she's obsessed. I'll get to that in a moment. First, let me show you the patterns that reveal what's really going on in her head. The hidden signs, what her behavior is actually telling you. Before we go deeper, do one thing for me. Hit the like button if this is already rethinking someone, because what's coming next is going to give you clarity you've never had before. Let's keep going. Sign number 1, she watches you when she thinks you're not looking. This is huge, and most men never catch this because they're too busy trying to get her attention directly. Women are observant. When she's genuinely thinking about you, she studies you. Your body language, who you talk to, how you carry yourself. You might catch her glancing your way in a group setting or notice her eyes following you across the room. But here's the key. She looks away the second you make eye contact. That instant look away, that's not disinterest. That's her caught in the act. In the digital world, this shows up differently. She's viewing your stories within minutes of you posting. She's liking old posts from weeks ago. She's checking your profile when she thinks you won't notice. Why does this matter? Because attention is currency. Where her attention goes repeatedly, her mind follows. But here's what most guys don't realize. If she's watching you secretly, she's also imagining scenarios with you. Conversations you haven't had, situations that don't exist yet. That's not casual interest. That's obsession. Think about it. Why would someone invest time watching someone they don't care about? They wouldn't. The effort alone, the repeated checking, the stolen glances, all of it requires energy. And energy is only spent on things that matter. When she's watching you, she's not just curious. She's building a mental image of you, storing data, creating a file that she revisits when she's alone with her thoughts. She's wondering what you're thinking, who you're talking to, whether you noticed her looking. That wondering is what keeps you on her mind long after the interaction ends. And the more she wonders, the more attached she becomes. It's a cycle that feeds itself. She watches, she wonders, she watches again. And you become the center of her internal world without even knowing it. Sign number 2, she remembers small details you mentioned weeks ago. Now this is where you'll start seeing the pattern. You casually mentioned you had a presentation coming up. 2 weeks later, she asks how it went. You told her once about your favorite band. She brings them up in conversation like it's no big deal. You might think, okay, she's just being nice. She has good memory. No, listen to what I'm about to tell you. Most people forget 90% of what you tell them within 24 hours. That's just how human memory works. But when someone is thinking about you constantly, they're replaying your conversations, they're storing details, they're building a mental file on you. And here's the crazy part. She probably doesn't even realize she's doing it. Her brain is subconsciously prioritizing information about you over everything else. If she remembers that you don't like olives, that your sister's name is Emma, that you have a scar from a childhood bike accident you mentioned once in passing, she's been thinking about you way more than she's letting on. This is one of the most reliable signs because it's almost impossible to fake. You can force yourself to be nice. You can force yourself to make eye contact, but you cannot force yourself to remember trivial details about someone you don't care about. That requires mental energy. That requires your brain to have decided that this person is important enough to store data on. And that decision happens unconsciously. It happens because you're already occupying so much of her mental space that everything related to you gets flagged as important. Every conversation gets replayed, every detail gets filed away, and when she brings them up later, she's not being polite. She's showing you exactly how much space you take up in her mind. Sign number 3. Her friends know about you and they act strange around you. Here's a dead giveaway, and it's one of the most reliable signs. Her friends mention you, or when you're around them, they exchange looks with her. They might tease her subtly or act like they know something you don't. Maybe they smile knowingly when you walk into a room. Maybe one of them accidentally says something like, "Oh, so you're the guy from," and then catches herself. Women talk to their friends about the people occupying their headspace. It's how they process attraction. But here's what you need to understand about this sign. If her friends know who you are without you having spent much time around them, that means you've been a frequent topic of conversation. She's asking them for advice about you. She's analyzing your texts with them. She's telling them stories about interactions you've had. You're living rent-free in her mind and in her group chat. And when her friends start acting different around you, it's because they've heard enough about you to form opinions. They're invested in whatever is happening between you two. This is actually one of the most powerful signs because it confirms that your relationship isn't just in your head. She's externalizing it. She's bringing you into her social circle, even if you haven't been officially introduced to it yet. Her friends know your name. They know your job. They know what you did on your last date or interaction. And they're watching you now, trying to figure out what she sees in you. That's not something that happens by accident. That's something that happens because she talks about you constantly. And when she talks about you constantly, she's thinking about you constantly. Now we're about to get to sign number 4, and this is the big one, the one that confirms everything. But first, I need to tell you about something most men completely misinterpret. Sign number 4, she initiates contact randomly, then disappears again. Okay, this is the sign that confuses men the most, and it's also the most powerful indicator she's obsessed with you. Here's what happens. She'll text you out of nowhere with something random, a meme, a question, a "this reminded me of you" message, something that seems low stakes. You respond, maybe have a decent conversation. The energy feels good. You think, okay, maybe she is interested. Then she goes again for days, maybe even a week, and you're sitting there thinking, what the hell just happened? Did I say something wrong? But here's what's actually going on in her head, and this is going to sound insane, but it's backed by psychology. She reached out because she couldn't stop thinking about you. The urge to talk to you built up so much that she had to make contact, but the moment she did, her fear kicked in. Wait, am I being too obvious? Is he going to think I'm desperate? Am I giving him too much power? So, she pulls back, not because she lost interest, but because she's trying to maintain control over her own emotions. This is called approach avoidance conflict in psychology. She's drawn to you, but scared of what that means. So, she compromises. She reaches out just enough to stay on your radar, but pulls back before she reveals too much. And here's the part that proves she's thinking about you constantly. The time between her random messages follows a pattern. It's not random at all. She reaches out right when she thinks you might be forgetting about her, right when the silence has lasted long enough that she worries she's lost your attention. If she wasn't obsessing over you, she wouldn't track the gaps. She wouldn't care about staying present in your life, but she does because you're always somewhere in the back of her mind. Now, let me show you the 3 remaining signs. And sign number 7, it's going to reveal exactly what you need to do next. Sign number 5, she gets slightly different around you compared to others. Pay close attention to this one because it's subtle, but it's everywhere once you know what to look for. With most people, she's one way, but with you, something shifts. Maybe she's a little more guarded, or maybe she laughs a bit harder at your jokes. Her voice might change pitch slightly when talking to you. She might touch her hair more, fidget with her phone, or break eye contact quicker than normal. But here's what most guys miss. These aren't just nervous habits, these are stress responses. And stress in this context doesn't mean she's uncomfortable with you. It means you affect her nervous system in a way others don't. When someone genuinely doesn't care about you, they're completely neutral. Their body language is relaxed, their energy is flat. It's the people who make us feel something, who cause these subtle behavioral changes. And if she acts more guarded around you than others, that's actually a stronger sign than if she acted flirty. Because she's protecting herself. She's building walls because she knows you have the power to affect her. People don't build walls around people who don't matter. Think about it. Have you ever been around someone you felt nervous around? Your body reacts. You might fidget. You might laugh too much. You might avoid eye contact. Those reactions happen because that person matters to you. They have the power to make you feel something, and that feeling creates a physical response. When she's different around you, when her energy shifts, when she's not the same person she is with everyone else, that's a clear signal. You're not just another person to her. You're someone who affects her on a deeper level. And that effect is what creates obsession. Sign number 6. She tests you. And most men fail without even realizing it. This one is crucial, and most guys completely miss it. She'll say something to gauge your reaction. She might mention another guy casually to see if you get jealous. She'll cancel plans to see if you'll react emotionally or stay composed. She might go cold suddenly just to watch how you respond. Will you chase? Will you get angry? Will you stay calm? Now, here's what you need to understand. These aren't games for the sake of games. These are unconscious tests. She's trying to figure out if you're secure enough to handle her, if you're emotionally solid, or if you'll crumble under pressure. When a woman is thinking about you seriously, she needs to know you're for real, and testing is how she finds out, because you just proved you're different from every other guy who's ever liked her. Most men fail these tests because they react emotionally, they get defensive, they get needy, they try too hard to prove themselves. And that reaction tells her everything she needs to know. It tells her that she has power over your emotional state. It tells her that you're not grounded. It tells her that you're not the kind of man she can rely on. But when you stay calm, when you don't react, when you pass the test with quiet confidence, something shifts in her. She realizes you're different, and that realization is what makes her obsession grow even stronger. She thinks, he didn't chase, he didn't panic, he didn't get angry, he just stayed calm. What else is he capable of? And that curiosity, that mystery, is what keeps you in her head. And that brings us to sign number 7, the one that reveals exactly what you should do next. Sign number 7 is the ultimate sign. It's the one that confirms everything, and it's the one that most men miss because it's so counterintuitive. This sign is when she creates distance and then tests your reaction to that distance. And the way you respond determines everything. When she pulls away, she's watching. She's waiting to see if you'll chase, if you'll panic, or if you'll stay calm. And if you stay calm, If you give her space, if you don't let her distance affect your peace, that's when she realizes she can't control you. And that's when her obsession becomes real. She starts thinking about you even more because now she's not sure if she has you. She's not sure if she can keep you. She's not sure if you're as invested as she is. And that uncertainty, that not knowing, that's what makes her obsessed. It's the same principle that makes people want what they can't have. When you're too available, too predictable, too easy to read, the mystery disappears. And when the mystery disappears, so does the obsession. But when you stay grounded, when you stay centered, when you don't let her pulling away affect your sense of self, she becomes fascinated. She wants to understand you. She wants to figure you out. She wants to know what makes you tick. And that curiosity, that desire to understand you, is the foundation of obsession. I know this isn't easy. When you care about someone, you want clarity. You want her to just tell you how she feels. But attraction doesn't work that way, especially not for women who are protecting themselves from getting hurt. So, pay attention, trust the signs, and most importantly, trust yourself enough to not force the outcome. Don't blow it. The biggest mistake men make is getting anxious when she pulls away. They chase, they text too much, they try to fix something that isn't broken. And that behavior is what kills the attraction. Because the man who can sit in uncertainty without crumbling, that's the man every woman is looking for. That's the man who becomes unforgettable. That's the man who, even after years, she looks back on and thinks about. Not the one who chased, not the one who begged, not the one who tried to prove his worth. The one who stayed calm, the one who let her come to him, the one who didn't need her validation to feel whole. That's the man she can't let go of. Because that man is rare. That man is valuable. That man is someone worth holding on to. If this video helped you see things differently, drop a